Finally here! December 1st, Vlogmas has officially begun. Hello friends, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Meg and this is the Between the Skeins YouTube channel, podcast, whatever we're calling it. And I'm so excited to be doing Vlogmas for a second year. I really enjoyed doing Vlogmas last year because it was such a great way to set aside a little bit of me time each and every day and to keep me focused on my crafting through the month of December, where everything just gets a little crazy, a little chaotic, and it's just a great way to keep myself accountable and yeah, to just really make sure that I'm setting aside that time and I'm not letting my little squirrel brain go completely wild. So I'm so excited. I did post a little prequel video going over some of the projects that I have planned, some of the boxes and advents that I'm going to be opening, and I'm so excited to be diving in. But first, so the first one, and I was actually going to open it and start putting it together, you know, so I could film like a little B-roll of me putting together my puzzle. So this is the one that I'm so excited for. I did this last year. It's a 24-day advent calendar jigsaw puzzle. So every single day you put together like a very small little 50-piece puzzle, and then the whole thing comes together to make one giant picture. I'm pretty sure it's like this picture. So these will all be like individual puzzles and they'll come together to make this. So I did this last year and like I said, I just loved it. They're just the perfect size, you know, they take like 10 minutes. And it's just such a great way to either start the day or like right now, I just got home from work and it's Monday. It's the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend. And oh my God, did this Monday like hit like a Monday. So I have literally been thinking about coming home and putting together my puzzle all freaking day. But okay, so I was gonna just pull it out, you know, and just kind of film like a little B-roll of doing the puzzle. But I just realized, because he's in the room, you can probably hear his little bell toy that he loves to play with that I keep in this room to keep him occupied and out of trouble. I have a kitten. So a few months ago, my husband and I rescued a little kitten that a friend of mine found while she was out walking on the canal path, the Erie Canal Path. His name is Simon. He's absolutely adorable, but he has orange cat energy. He's about 4 months old now. And his favorite thing, he's not supposed to be on tables. We're trying really hard to train him to not go on counters and tables, but he's a 4-month-old kitten. He does what he wants. And so it's so far he's winning, but we're devoted. We're really gonna try to keep him off the tables. But his favorite thing is to get up on the table and take his little paw and whack everything off that he possibly can. And he stares you like deadpan right in the eye when he's doing it. So much orange cat energy. Love him to death. But I was just thinking, I was like, where the heck am I gonna put this together? I don't, for one, he's not gonna let me. He's gonna see these pieces, he's gonna grab one, and he's gonna run. And then where do I like leave it out? Because I wanna be able to have all the squares like together to make the picture. So I need to come up with a plan. I think I need to like construct some sort of like box that I can build this puzzle in so that I can contain it. Oh, speaking of orange cat energy, he's trying to get up on the table that's right next to me that I've got all the stuff stacked on. This is Simon. Cute. Hi. So he's very cute, but he's very naughty. And he's teething really bad, so he's kind of a biter right now. So if anybody has any hints on how to get your kitten to stop biting you. No. Okay, we need to go. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out the puzzle. That puzzle is getting put together. And so that's the other thing that, like last year, I got a pillar candle that is a really fun little Advent pillar candle that, you know, it's got all the numbers 1 through 24, and you light the candle and it burns. I think it's meant to burn like 20 minutes a day, and so you just kind of burn down the numbers. And last year I had one, I got one for my sister, and it's just so much fun to light it every day after work or whenever. And a lot of times I would light it like while I was doing my puzzle, kind of set the mood, and let it burn down while I'm having my relaxed time. And that's the other thing. I can't have this candle burning with a kitten. So I'm gonna need to figure out the candle situation and the puzzle situation. Yeah, I did not really think this one through, but we're gonna get there. So the second Advent that I have, this one isn't one that you physically open a gift every single day. This is the Woolens and Nosh self-striping sock Advent. I also did this one last year and absolutely loved it. Comes in this super cute little bag. And so the idea of this is that every single day you knit one stripe, so there should be 24. Not to peek. Okay, there should be 24 individual colors, and they're separated by a strand of, this year it's this really pretty chocolate brown color. So you knit a color, and then once you get to the chocolate brown, you know that you can stop because you're gonna have a few rows of chocolate brown before you get to your next color. So I'm opting to do a toe-up sock because I think that's gonna be a little bit easier for me to just keep knitting until I've run out of yarn. I want to use up all the yarn. So in preparation of today, the first stripe, I casted on my toes. So I just did the, I don't even know what it's called, just the magic cast on. I watched the YouTube tutorial by Juliette Pécaut Designs. Really nice tutorial. It's 4 minutes. That's how tutorials should be. There was no crazy intro. She got right to the point and it was perfect, got me on my way. And I also did my increases a little bit different than I've done before. I've had a problem with gaps at my increases, and so I opted to, instead of doing make one rights and make one lefts, because I was finding, I think it was the make one left. I'll have to look at a sock to see which increase it was, but I was noticing that like on one side, so here's like the increases. I was noticing on one side that there was just always like gaps. And in this, there's no gaps. So for this, I opted to do a knit front to back stitch. And then on the other end, I did a lifted bar increase. And that made for a nice and tight little increasing section. I started with 12 stitches on the toe, because I always feel like I need just a little bit wider of a toe box. So I started with 12 inches, and then I increased until I got to 64 stitches, and I'm knitting these on US 1s. So I've used this yarn before. I've knit quite a few socks, so I didn't need to gauge swatch or anything, which is nice because I already know that these are going to fit nice. So I started these. I've got both of these. I like tucked them in and they like fell in. Okay, so I started these and I kind of knit a little bit, so I did get a little sneak peek at today's color. I should have said spoiler alert, uh-oh. Hopefully, but if this is like last year, every person might start with a different color depending on how these were caked. So you might not be starting with aqua. It's like a baby blue aqua, but eventually you will get to this color. So if you have this Advent, you might just not want to watch it. And then these are just, I love these. So when I started, I currently have these on just like the little 9-inch circulars. That's how I prefer to knit my socks. But to do this start, I hate magic loop. I just hate it I just don't like it. So normally when I start, I do DPNs, and potentially that's why I was having some gapping issues on the sides. But I have recently found these Addy Flexi Flips. That's kind of like the marriage between magic loop and DPNs. So you only have 3, and you kind of just like knit in a circle and slide them around, and they are great. I'm obsessed with them. Yes, so love these. So this is what I use to start my toes, and then I'm keeping them in here because I'll probably use them. I'm just gonna do a short row heel, and so I'm probably gonna use them for the heel because it's just a little bit easier to go back and forth with the short guy. So that's that. So I'm definitely going to sit down and knit on these a little bit later when I'm ready to do my relaxation time. So the other advent that I have to open is the one that I made for myself. So I did not subscribe to any yarn advents this year. And again, I can't believe it. I can't believe I held out because I had at least 3 different advents in my cart all throughout the year. But I hadn't used any of the yarn that I had opened last year. That's a lie. I had 2 yarn advents. One came with a pattern. And so that one I was knitting with it as I was opening it, and I did have a finished object by the end of the year. I might have gone a few days into January, but I was done pretty well at the end of the year. So that was nice. I liked that it had the pattern, and I knew that the colors were arranged in the way that they should be used in the pattern. So that was just so nice to have that. I could open, use the yarn. It was great. The other advent was from Spun Right Round. Absolutely stunning colors. And there was lots of pattern suggestions, but I wanted to be able to see everything and make my decision of where all the colors were going to go before I just started. So I did that, and I picked out a couple projects, put them in my queue, and there they sat in my queue and sat and sat and sat. So it just didn't feel right to order another advent when I hadn't even used this year's advent, or last year's advent. So what I did instead, it was that I picked a pattern and I arranged them in how I want to knit them in the pattern. So they're in the order that I want to use them. And then I bagged everything up like an advent again. So they're all packaged, numbered, ready to go, ready to be opened. And I'm really excited because it's gonna be a surprise. It's amazing like what you actually forget. I know that they're kind of brighter colors. I know that they've got some like neons and lots of speckles, but like it still is going to be just an exciting surprise because I've totally forgotten like exactly like which color I'm opening each day. And so the pattern is and I had it pulled up on my phone. Good, it's still here. The pattern is Rainbow Bouquet by Telly Knits. I don't know if it's showing up, but I'll link it below. I was going back and forth between a couple different patterns. I know that Amba O'Brien has quite a few Advent specific shawls, and I was definitely thinking about one of those, but I actually had this pattern in my library. So thank goodness I went through my library and I was looking at, well, what patterns do you already own? And I had this in my library and I have not knit it. So keeping with the full from stash vibes here, I've got a pattern that I have no idea when I bought it, but I bought it, never did anything with it, and now I have my Advent that I'm going to reopen that I'm super excited about. And I put it in my Twice Sheared Sheep box I did the Twice Sheared Sheep Advent last year, and this box is like so nice. It's one of those like magnetic ones. So I've been keeping like different projects and notions, and I've been using this quite a bit, and so it's really held up. I'm surprised it's not more beat up by how much I've been kind of pulling it in and out and putting stuff in it. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, so the pattern, I think there's like a schematic. Yeah, here's the schematic. So it's a triangle, and so it's made to just keep doing all these stripes. If I remember correctly, it is 24 stripes. I think it was 12. I think it was 12, but you use the colors white. I think you can do it 12, but with the yardage, there's enough yardage that you can do them twice. Or I'm just going to do the 24, obviously. And then you do where the squiggles are, is you can hold a main color. So, you know, in my case, it'll be more of a solid color. And so I've chosen, this is a brand new color. It's not in my shop yet because I have only dyed my sample batches. I've not dyed anything else, but this is called Coffee Shop. I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to cake this up. I'm gonna be caking it up right after this. So let's get to it. Let's open day one. This is so fun. Like, it's just so much fun to just open a nice gift for yourself. Wow, I really packaged these good. Beautiful. I'm so excited. So excited. So yeah, I think that this is already winning. So I'm gonna cake this up. I'm gonna start the shawl, and very excited for that. If I don't finish the shawl by the end of December, it's okay. But I am gonna try to keep up. We'll see how well I can do. So I'm really excited for that. I think that's really it. Yeah, that's really it. So work just ended. I just got home. So I think I'm gonna go say hello to my ducks, and I've got some knitting to do. Until tomorrow, happy Vlogmas. I know it's dark, so it's not the most ideal spot for filming, but I've definitely found a great place for my countdown candle and to knit my socks. I'm in my outdoor sanctuary that I have been working on. I asked for this for Christmas. I have wanted a little snow bubble dome for so many years now. I just love them. I love when you go to like the holiday villages and you can sit in those little plastic bubbles and it's snowing and it's just so nice. I love being outside. I need to be outside, and it's just so hard living. I live in Western New York. It's so hard living in a place where it's dark all the time. It's only 5:30. It's exactly 5:30 on the dot. And it's cold. It's below freezing today. And And it's expensive to like go into one of these. I know in Rochester where I live, we have like a Rochester Holiday Village, and I was looking at how much it costs to rent one, and it was like over $200 just to sit in a bubble for 50 minutes. Anyway, so I asked for one for Christmas. So I did get a very early Christmas present. So I'm in my dome, so it's plastic. And I asked for one that was big enough to fit our deck furniture that we already have, so I didn't have to like buy new furniture or anything. Like, we just instead of putting our furniture in summer storage, it can just come in here, which is perfect because we have a really nice like little rattan sectional and chair and end tables, and they're like nice and cushioned and comfortable. I got a little heater. It's looks like a little wood stove, and it really pumps out heat. And I've got some other candles and ambience. I've got some lit topiary trees, and we are planning on hanging some string lights. So in our backyard we have like the marketplace string lights all around our backyard, and we have an extra strand that's somewhere in our basement, so we're gonna pull that out and string up the inside of here, but we have not gotten that far yet. So I'm so excited to have this space. So as of right now, I have not let any of the animals in. I'm just kind of keeping it my own space. It's not like raining or snowing or anything right now, but the yard is so wet and muddy, and it is supposed to snow like crazy tomorrow. We're supposed to get like 5 to 10 inches of snow. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be sitting in here in the snow. I have to work tomorrow, so I'm not gonna be able to sit in the snow in the daylight, which would be so nice, but at least I'll get some nighttime snow. But that's kind of why I just don't want like the animals to get used to coming in here, because if they're gonna go run around the yard and get disgusting and muddy, they are not coming into my sanctuary. And I wanted to get like a nice little carpet to put down. Just, I think it'll be like if your feet are warm, your body's warm kind of a thing. But it's so nice in here. So I put a little thermometer in here to just keep track of like how quickly it's warming up, and I am so comfortable. So I just have a hat and a hoodie on, and I do have slippers on, and I brought out a coat in case I needed it. I do not need it. It's 50 degrees in here right now. It's 30 degrees outside, and it's 50 degrees right now in the bubble with the heater on. And I do have a blanket on my lap, but like I am so content and so cozy. So I'm going to knit on my sock. It's a little dark, but I can do it. I can always use my phone light if I have to. And I did bring out my book, but it is a little dark, so I don't think I'm going to end up reading. This is the book I'm reading right now. It's Count My Lives by Sophie Stava. It's good so far, about a third of the way in. So I probably won't end up reading out here unless I get up and go grab a book lamp or something. But I end up watching videos on my phone or something. And I just have not figured out the puzzle situation. So I've not put together my puzzle yet today. We will have to do that. But I'm so happy.